Another thing that we could do is make some changes to the geometry in the LBS. So we could move the boundaries, or we could split some of the zones differently. So let's go to the location breakdown structure again, and let's view that in the floor plan. And as I mentioned, it would be better really for us to have more equal locations. And one way to do that would be just to move some of these locations. Potentially I could just drag and drop, and this would recalculate for this area and this area. Maybe let's do some wholesale change. Let me now split these two into, it's not going to look pretty, and I don't think the superintendent will like me very much for doing something like this, but let me just make sure let's not split that pile cap as well. And let's then split this one here. So we're going to add another location. We've changed the location structure as well. So we've got this funny thing going on around here. I don't know really whether anyone would pour the slab like this, but that's not the point in this demonstration. And we can go back to the model and reactivate that, which will requantify, as we've seen, and produce us an updated set of deliverables. One of the things that we want to make sure of, we want to automate as many things as possible, but that can only really be done 95% of the time. What we'd like to do now is, in our location structure, we would like to change, so we split some of the zones and we change some of the zones. So we need to just tell it, if we're using this same structure, which ones are which. So zone 2 is actually this zone, and zone 3 is, so zone 3 actually got cut into 2. Do we want to keep this one as zone 3 possibly? Maybe we could call that zone 3A. And then that would be zone 3B. And this would be zone 4. Let's keep that as zone 4. And then we can remove the old locations, and we can reorder this one so that it sits in a hierarchy. And then we can take a look at the schedule again. So we can go back to our schedule planner, and we'll have to just quickly rework the locations in the schedule as well. So let's take a look and see our foundation. Oh, no, let me just reactivate the model. Apologies. So every time you change something in the location hierarchy and the location structure, we must just remember to reactivate the model so that we get the new quantity data for all of those new locations that we've just created. And then when we go to open our schedule, we then see our new location, and didn't quite know where to place this one, so we can now tell it that we don't want to place it there, we want to actually place it just slightly underneath. And we also maybe, let's show a quick change of the schedule. I want to now match all of my tasks to be the same order that I've defined, and it's just a couple of clicks. No more is it remove logic, remove all of the dependencies, reorder all of the bars on the Gantt chart, add new dependencies between them, reschedule the project, look at all of your filters and try and manage that data. It's just as simple as reordering the locations, and we can copy that order to some of the tasks, all of the tasks. We can change the order, as we saw with the piling, individual tasks. This is all just because we've got the location as an extra dimension. So a pretty powerful concept as we add that functionality. And so now we've done that, we can, probably getting bored of this 4D simulation, but we can now see that 4D simulation as well. So it will have the new locations, and we'll see how we have created our schedule based on the new quantity data per location.